Ladies and gentlemen and graphic designers, we're going to do Photoshop Lesson 4. We're going to learn how to work with selections because before you edit anything, you have to select it. Make sure you understand this, read this. All right, we're going to get started with file types. Okay, so write this down. A raster image is an image made up of squares called pixels. If you zoom in on a Photoshop document, what do you see? So let's grab our Photoshop. We're going to zoom in. And what do you see? Eventually everything turns into little squares. Everything turns into pixels. Okay? So Photoshop is absolutely a raster-based program. Okay? So we're going to talk about this later, but save everything in the Photoshop format so that you don't lose some of your good work. All right, so I want to show you what happens if you add a high-resolution image to a low-resolution image. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Photoshop, and I'm going to open a file. So basically, you have to download all the stuff for Lesson 4, but I'm going to go ahead and I've already done it, so I'm going to open it. So we're going to open up two things. We're going to open up cutting board bad quality, and we're going to open up we're also going to open up lettuce good quality. All right, so look, you can see this picture has great quality. So if you open up the cutting board and you zoom in, you see that this has low quality, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a lot of students do. They find a crummy picture on the internet and they save it and then they work from there. So let's see what happens if we do that. So I'm going to go File and Place. I'm going to place the lettuce, good quality. I'm going to hit Place and I'm going to hit Enter. And what happened to the lettuce that had great quality? It now has crummy quality. And can we get that quality back? Well, not here. You know, if we re-download it from the internet or whatever, we could get it back. But in this particular document, we destroyed pixels and we lowered the resolution and lowered the quality, and we can never get that back. Now, I want you guys to do this thing that I just did, and I want you to save it in your folder and your name on it. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save it as cutting board bad quality, and we're going to save it as a Photoshop document. Because whenever you open stuff, whenever you work in Photoshop, you should save what you're working on as a Photoshop document. So you're going to save it in your folder in the computer. You're going to find the folder with your name on it. You're going to find Creative Computers. You're going to find Vector Design. No. Raster Design Photoshop. You're going to go to the book lessons, and we're going to save it as the cutting board bad quality.psd and save it. Okay? All right, good. Now, let's keep moving on. Okay, so here's how. So I just showed you what not to do. Now I'm going to show you what you ought to do. So what you ought to do is in Photoshop, you should start with a document that is the correct size for what you're doing. So we're going to go File, New. Okay, and for us, we're pretending like we're going to print this on the printer. So this is 8.5 by 11 is the size of a piece of paper. The resolution is 300, and our printer uses CMYK color, so this is going to work. So we're going to click OK. All right, so we have a document that's the correct size. Now, I want you guys to do this. We're going to go File, Place, and we're going to place the... Well, this ain't it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I located. Okay, so here it is, the 04start.tif. That's just a picture file. So we're placing a picture into our document, and I could resize it, but I like the size, so I'm going to hit Enter. Okay, so now the thing before we get any further, we're going to make sure that we save it. So we regularly hit Save and save this thing. Okay, so we're going to save this in the computer. We're going to go to my folder, your folder with your name on it. You're going to go to Creative Computers. You're going to go to Raster Design Photoshop. We're going to go to Photoshop Book Lessons, and we're going to save this as lesson1.psd. I mean lesson4.psd. We're going to save it as a Photoshop document. Okay. All right, now let's keep looking, see what we should do. Okay, so it says the next thing it wants is the scoring guide. So let's take a peek at the scoring guide. Okay, so the scoring guide is going to look a little bit something like this. We're going to make something that looks a little bit like this, probably some differences, but we're going to work off of this thing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the caret with the pen tool. All right, so we have our document. We're going to zoom in on the carrot. We're going to zoom in, zoom in. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to use the pen tool. So we're going to find it. There it is. There's a pen tool. And you can draw pictures with this, but we want to use it to select. So we click on that. And then we're going to just do like we normally use the pen tool in Illustrator, except for instead of drawing, we're using it to select. And so we're going to just keep going. And the pen tool is the more difficult tool to use, but it's the most accurate tool to use. So you'll find that oftentimes that, you know, photographers are going to use this tool for the most part to select things, right? Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole thing right here in front of you. So I'm going to hit pause and finish and come back. Okay, so I have the carrot selected with the pen tool. Now I'm going to go over to layers, or actually I'm going to go over to paths, and you're going to go to this layer. I don't know where this thing came from. So we're going to go here and we're going to name it. We're going to keep clicking on it until we can name it, and we're going to name it carrot. Okay, and then once we're here, we're going to be done with that, and then we're going to load it as a selection. Okay, so now that we've selected it, we can edit it. We can work with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go layer, new, via copy. Okay, so I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to go back to layer. So this, I'm going to call this carrot. If you click on it enough times, it'll eventually let you edit the text. Okay, so we have the carrot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that around. So I can move the carrot around, and then I'm also going to press Control T to transform it. Control T will transform, not that. So I want to rotate it, and I want to move it over here, something like that. Okay. All right. So we have our carrot moved. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I want to edit the color of the carrot. I want to make it to where it's a little bit more orange. I have to apply that. I'm gonna make it more orange and less red. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna use the selection tool. I'm gonna select. I basically have selected everything but the carrot because there's nothing there. So when I click with the selection tool, it selects all this white, right? So I selected everything but the carrot. But I'm going to go select inverse to select the carrot, and I'm going to turn everything back on. So what I'm going to do now is on the carrot, I'm going to make a mask, or I'm going to make a color. I'm going to add solid color. And the color I want to add is going to be orange. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to find a nice orange color that I like a lot. So I think that's a good color, orange for a carrot. And I'm going to click OK. So basically what I did is I just made this orange color on top of the carrot. But what I can do is I can change the opacity and let some of the actual carrot show through. So that's one thing I can do. And the other thing I can do is I can click right on here, and I can do all different ways that these two layers are affecting each other. So I'm using my arrow so you can see it's going from soft light to overlay, and I like overlay the best. So it just works differently, and I'm going to go to the fill, or the opacity I should say, and I'm going to change that to like right there. I kind of like that color right there, a little bit more orange, so you can see, you can go back. That's how it was. Here's how it is. I like that. Okay, and so okay, I'm good there. Let's go back to the spiel, and let's make sure we write everything down. So write that down. Write that down. Okay, so now we're going to select the pepper twice using the different lasso tools. Okay, so write this down. Lasso tool allows you to select freehand and with straight lines. Using the Alt key with the lasso tool switches you to the polygon lasso tool. All right, so let's jump back into it. Okay, so we're going to click on this to get rid of those things. We're going to zoom in on the pepper. And we're going to get started with the lasso tool. So we're going to go right here. There's different ones. So we're going to go to the lasso tool. And so it basically allows me to go freehand. If I hit Alt, okay, so I am going to use so we're on the lasso tool. And so this is like a freehand thing. You click and you just kind of, you drag, and my freehand skills aren't super amazing, but I'll do the best I can. And so the other thing you can do is while the mouse is pressed, you can press Alt and then release the mouse, and then then it goes to the polygon tool where it selects with straight lines. There's not really any straight lines on this, so this is not super helpful. So I'm going to click the mouse, release the thing, and I'm going to do freehand. Okay, I'm not gonna do it good while you're watching. So we'll just do it like that. But I want you to spend some time. Okay, so there you can do it with the lasso tool, and then we're gonna go layer, new, new layer via copy. Why is that not? Why won't it do a copy? Oh, I wonder if I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, so we should probably be on this layer. So there's actually some pixels. On this layer, there's no pixels back there. Let's see if it'll let us do it now. So layer, new, there we go. Layer, new via copy. Okay, and so I'm going to double click this, and I'm going to change the name. See if it'll let me do it. Click, click, there we go. And we're going to call this lasso. Okay, let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay, so we just did this, and make sure that you take this note. And now we're going to go to use the magnetic lasso tool. Take these notes, hit pause and take those notes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the lasso tool, and we're going to go to the magnetic lasso tool. The magnetic lasso tool is nice because it looks like, oh, hey, this is kind of a gray color and this is yellow, and it finds the edge. And so if you look, it just kind of does it. And I can force it. Oh, what's that? If you look back over here, you can so if you left click using the magnetic lasso tool, it forces it to make an anchor point. So let's see what that does. So I messed up my selection, so I'm going to go select, deselect, and we're going to try it again. So if I'm going along and it's like, and it seems to be doing the right thing, but if I want to force an anchor point there, I click it, I left click it, and it forces an anchor point. At any rate, so this is super handy. You just kind of drag it around, and it for the most part will get it. So you just try to get it close, and it'll do it. Okay. Okay, so I double click there at the end to finish. Okay, so again, let's go to layers, make sure I'm on the right layer. So I need to go here. I was on this layer, there's not really much on there. Okay, so I'm going to go layer, new, via copy, and I'm going to click, 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 click. Come on, it won't do it. Let's keep trying. Click, click, click. You have to, there it goes. If you click at the right speed, it'll do it. So this is going to be, okay, so that's a magnetic lasso. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's select the tomato with the magic wand tool. That's going to be easy. Write these questions down. So let's go back to here. All right, so we're going to go double click on the hand to see everything. We're going to zoom in on the, oh, you know what I'm forgetting to do on all these layers. So let's go here to this layer. And so on this layer, we need to go, we'll go to the magic wand tool. So we selected everything but the pepper, so I'll go select inverse. And one of the things we're supposed to do is we're supposed to be moving it around onto the cutting board where it's supposed to go. At any rate, okay, so let's go back to the, oh yeah, we're going to go to the tomato. Okay, so on the tomato, we're going to just use the magic wand tool. And so the tolerance is set to 32. That's how much stuff it selects. So if I click on the, oh, I'm on the wrong layer again, so let's go here. So if I click with that tool, so I selected some of the tomato. So let's change this up to 100. So let's go select, deselect. If I click again, you can see it gets more stuff. So the higher the tolerance, the more pixels it's selecting, the pixels that are similar. If I hit press and hold the shift key and keep clicking, I'm adding to the selection, and now I need to get the green, all the green stuff. And so if you can see, I'm missing that thing. It's hard to get, so I can also hit shift and I can add to it with that. So I think I got the whole tomato. And so again, we're going to go layer new via copy, and we're going to name this layer magic wand. And I can never seem to get it. There we go. Okay, and so now I'm going to go back to select. Oh no, I'm going to go to the magic wand. I'm going to select everything but the tomato. I'm going to go select inverse, get the tomato again, go to the hand, and then we're going to move the tomato where it needs to go, and I want the tomato like right over there. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint and see what we can learn here. All right, so let's select the lettuce with the marquee and the magic wand. So we're going to do two tools. Okay, so write these down in your notes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in on the lettuce. And let's get this out of our way. Okay, so we're going to use two tools. So we're going to say, all right, let's go to the marquee tool. And so we've selected the lettuce, but we've got the lettuce plus all this white stuff. So if we were to try to move this, oh, we're wrong spot. Okay, so let's go here. So if we were to try to move this, it's going to... No? Oh, what did I get? Did I go edit, undo? I have no idea what I just did. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm going to click off. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to move